We have variation, and there's multiple types of variations, but the two we're looking at is we're looking at direct variation, and we're also looking at inverse variation. Basically what happens with direct variation is as your x's get bigger, so do your y's. With inverse variation, as your x's get bigger, your y's get smaller. And the kind of example I use is for direct variation, it's such as if we're charging $5 a person to go somewhere, well, the more people that show up, the more total cost it's going to take to go to that event. For inverse variation, if you have a set rate, such as you're going to buy a pizza for $10, well, if one person buys the pizza, then it costs $10. If two people buy the pizza, then they split the cost at $5 a piece. So the cost keeps getting smaller and smaller as more people decide they want pizza. So here's how it works. For direct variation, you have the formula y equals kx, where k represents our constant. So what I'm going to do first is what I see kids do in classes, they make a little table, and I think that's pretty helpful. So they'll say x is 5 when y is 20, and x is 8, and we're trying to find out what y is going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 5 and 20 to find k. So I have 20 equals k times 5. Get k by itself, I divide by 5, and I get k equals 4. So now we know what k is. Now we're going to plug it into the equation, and so now I have y equals k, which is 4 times x. So we're going to plug 8 in for x, and so I get y equals 4 times 5, and I get, 4 times 8, and we get 32. Now for inverse variation, we're going to use the formula y equals k divided by x. And so what's happening here is when y is 20, x is 5, so I'm going to go through and make the table again. So 5 for x, 20 for y, x is 8, we're going to find out what y is. Well, what's going to happen here is once again, I'm still going to find k. So I'm going to say 20 equals k divided by x, and x is 5. So multiply both sides by 5 to find k, and I get 100 equals k. So now we're going to plug 100 in for k, and so I get y equals 100 divided by x. Well, x is 8, so I'm going to do 100 divided by 8, and I get y to be 12.5.